Hi, my name is Anya and welcome. Today I am going to be sharing with you a Quantum Face Healing Session. I have created Quantum Face Healing, and it's a modality of combining different healing techniques and combining them together. And I hold private sessions for my clients on holding space for them in Quantum Face Healing. And today I'm going to share with you a Quantum Face Healing session. I am both going to be holding the space and also the client as well. And ultimately, Quantum Face Healing is a practice that you can do for yourself. And it's a beautiful practice to do for yourself because it's a healing that you can give yourself. And today I'm gonna walk you through it. I'm gonna give you a scenario that is true. And I lately been feeling this urge to do this Quantum Face Healing session for myself. I've done quite a bit of healing around the situation, but feeling like a Quantum Face Healing session I think could be really helpful for me. So I thought, why not make a video and share it? So we're going to see how it goes. This is an experiment by videoing. It's the first Quantum Face Healing that I am videoing that I'm doing for myself. So the situation is, and we'll keep it brief, I met a man about 8 years ago, and we had quite a dynamic connection right from the beginning. In fact, he brought it up, this twin flame connection, very fiery. And since then, we have had been together, separation, we're together for a year, and then another separation. It's been 4 years, and we reconnected. We no longer live in the same state, and we spoke on the phone for a few months. And during that time, there was talk about us getting together in the physical and continuing on with our relationship and moving forward into a long-term committed relationship. So during those few months, there was regular conversation, and I'm just going to say that there was this part of me, because I like to work with parts when I work with Quantum Face Healing. There was this part of me, and I'm going to identify her and hold space for her. And the part of me that was really awakened by this reconnection, and really she was reconnected. She was awakened by this reconnection when he came back into my life. And she had the hopes and the desires of having a loving partner relationship with, chemistry and support system in place, both, in all areas of my life, feeling supported. And she had hope that this could manifest. But there was also some things in question because of the past situations. But since it's been 4 years and we've both done a lot of work on ourselves, I know I've done a lot of work on myself. He has, claimed, and at the beginning it seemed like he did a lot of work on himself, and I'm sure that he has. But over a few months of talking, it really became clear to me that to move forward in this relationship was not going to honor all of me. So I decided to have a conversation with him and to basically speak my truth, which I was, some of it I was suppressing. And I knew once I did this, there was a possibility that the energy connection would dissipate. And that's exactly what happened. So So I would like to, at this time for my own healing, I would like to acknowledge this part of myself that really put herself out there for these last few months, that really showed up for the relationship, that tried all different ways to connect and to be there and to be supportive and to be open and to share her love. And so I would like to hold space for her and to let her know that I see her and I see that all that she did and I accept it and I accept her. I accept this part of myself. I accept this part of myself that really tries to make a relationship work, to put in that extra effort, to show up, even if it is just a phone call, and to really hold space for the other person. And I just want to say I see her, I acknowledge her, I love her, and I accept her, that she is a part of me. And yeah, and I honestly just feel like I just want to give her a big hug. And when the relationship came clear to me that it would probably be best that we did not move forward in seeing each other and a possibility of figuring out how to merge our lives. Obviously there was disappointment, there was frustration, there was sadness, there was even some anger. Why couldn't this person live up to all my expectations? And so there was a lot of different emotions, which I would say is the course of grieving. And even though it's a relationship that actually didn't come into the physical, but it was definitely in the energetic field. And so going through the process of grieving. So I'm going to acknowledge now that I see you, and and for some reason she's right here. This is where she is. Actually, I could feel her. She's right here, and that I see you, and that I hear you, and I feel you, and I just want to let you know that I completely acknowledge you. And you really want to be in the place of the witness. So sometimes doing this for yourself, like right away, is not going to work, because I am caught up in all that emotional stuff. But it's been over a month, and I've done a lot of work on myself, so I can hold space in the witness right now, in the neutral mind, in the witness, and I can see you, and not merging in with her. And that's important. So if I'm holding space for a client, I can hold back and help the client stay in the witness to this. So yep, she's right over here, and I just want to let you know that I completely see you. And right now what I see, because I want to see her face, because this is quantum face healing, and the face is a little bit of a disappointed face, and she feels a little I'm sensing that she feels maybe tired. She put a lot out, and but she's also grateful because it surely could have been worse. But still, so there, I see the gratitude, but I also see the feelings of she's feeling disappointed. Yeah, I would say overall it's the disappointment. It's feeling disappointed, feeling I don't think it would have worked, or it's going to work, or and I tried so hard, and I gave so much, and I did all that I could, but it still didn't work. So I kind of surrender there's actually now, which actually is a beautiful thing, as I'm talking to her, this surrender is coming up. And I think moving from that phase of disappointment to the phase of surrender would be a beautiful quantum face healing session to do for us. So I'm just going to, it just came through that we are going to do this quantum face healing session for this part of me. And she is wearing the disappointed face, but she wants to shift to this place of surrender, surrendering to something larger, letting go, and just being open to receive a healing, to being open to receive the love from Source. So this is beautiful, actually. This is all just coming through. None of this was planned. And that's when I have a quantum face healing session, we don't really know what's going to come through and how it's going to go. And that's the beauty of it. So I do feel I have guides that work with me, and I'm grateful they're here today to support me in this healing session. So now that we've got some information, we are going to do a tapping session on this part of me that's right over here. And sometimes I do tapping, sometimes we don't. Sometimes just seeing her is enough. But today I'm feeling called to do a tapping session, and I have some information, and that's basically when we start a session, that's when we get the information. We acquire the information that we need to tap on. And we're going to keep this tapping session simple. It's not a lot of information that came through, but it's enough to tap on. So let's begin. So even though the relationship didn't work out, you had hope that things were going to align, and he had hope too. And just acknowledging that also, I'm sure that he is going through his own grieving and disappointment as well. So even though the relationship didn't work out, you both thought this was the timing and things were going to align. And for months you had hope that the timing was going to arise and the two of you were going to meet in the physical and things were just going to be wonderful and happy ever after. And it didn't really work. It didn't work out that way. So I'm here just to acknowledge that, and to acknowledge that it is a disappointment. And I see you and I hear you and I feel you, and I acknowledge that you were disappointed, and there was sadness, and there was anger and frustration. And even though you are feeling these ways, I'm here to tell you that I see you, and I love you, and I accept you just as you are. Even though it didn't align like the two of you thought it would, you thought this was your time to come together in love, possibly in matrimony, to share your lives together, to grow old together, to laugh, to cry, to make love, to heal. You had so much hope that this was it. And it didn't work out that way. So I'm here to let you know that I see your disappointment. And I feel your sadness, but I also see your strength, that you recognize you made the right decision for you. So I really admire, respect, love, and accept this part of you, part of me. Even though it didn't work out the way you thought it would, the way you wanted it to, the love affair, the passion, the romance, the adventures, the love, the things that you spoke about. It's a disappointment. It's a sadness. And I'm here to just tell you that I see you and I acknowledge you, And I accept this part of you that is disappointed. And wearing that face of disappointment, even though it didn't work out the way you thought it was. And there was fun times. You shared fun times with this person, but you also shared times that were painful and uncomfortable, and I see how challenging it was to make this decision and how disappointed you were. But I just want to let you know that I see your strength and your courage for speaking your truth. And that is the truth. I see your courage to move forward in a positive way and light, to take care of your higher self, your well-being over anything else. But I see that face of disappointment, and I acknowledge it, and I'm aware of it, and I love you. Even though you're wearing that face of disappointment, why couldn't it have worked out the way I wanted it to? Why can't I get what I want? Well, I'm here to tell you that I see you and I love you and I hold space for you and I accept you, and I think you're really courageous, and I really honor that. Between the nose and the lips, tapping here, even though you're wearing that face of disappointment. And I'm also, as I'm tapping on myself, I'm tapping on her too. You're wearing the face of disappointment. Wearing the face of grieving. Wearing the face of, I think it's probably best we never speak again. It's just too much for both of us. That's a hard one to swallow, but I really feel it's the best. And it's not that you don't love this person, this other person doesn't love you. Love is there. In fact, those were the last words we said to each other. And I really commend you for handling this separation in such a beautiful way. Speaking your truth and sharing your love and ending it from there. So even though you're wearing this face of disappointment, I'm here to tell you, I think you're extremely courageous. And I see you, and I love you, and I accept you. And I can see that we're going to move through this and onto the next chapter, whatever it is, and you're already moving on to the next chapter. Not necessarily in another romantic relationship, but just within your own being. Like starting to really just fall in love with your own being, the passion, the love, just sharing that in your own being with yourself. And on the collarbones, tapping on her collarbones and just telling her how much you love her. And it's like, right now, we're just having a love fest. Like, I give her so much credit for having the courage to speak her truth and to share her love so openly and vulnerably, and to make the decision to protect her well-being and my well-being. And today, here to share with her the face of disappointment, we are going to quantum heal that face. and change that face from the face of disappointment to the face of surrender. What does a face of surrender look like? So even though you're wearing a face of disappointment, I'm here to tell you that I see you. I see the face of disappointment. I love you and I accept you, and that you don't need to wear this face any longer. And today we are going to have a major shift. We're going to transform that face of disappointment into a face of surrendering to the Holy One. And just letting go, surrender, trust, be in the moment. And on top of the head, let's just close our eyes now, tapping on the top of my head, and I'm tapping on her top of her head, the part of me that was wearing the face of disappointment. I'm tapping on her head, telling her how much I love her, that I see her. And then let's just take a deep breath in together. Exhale out. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Opening your eyes. Oof. Bringing your awareness back into the space. Now when I see her, she's got a little smile on her face right now, and she's really grateful. She's a lot lighter. She's dancing. I love to dance, and she's a part of me that loves to dance too. She likes to have fun. She does. She likes to have a good time. She's probably one of my dancers. So she's dancing right now, and she's wearing red. That's why I wore red, because I feel like she wears red. So I'm honoring her by wearing red today. And she's wearing red, and she's doing a dance. She's doing like a salsa dance. And it's beautiful. It's really nice. So now this is the part of the Quantum Face Healing Session that I'd actually do a face yoga session for her and for my client, or for me today. And so we'll do a little face yoga session together. So first we'll just check in, and I'll ask her, she's having so much fun dancing right now. I feel like, would you mind, do you want to sit down and do a face yoga session? She says, yeah. So, okay, so she's going to sit down, she's going to sit with us, and she's going to take in the face yoga session. But she's already shifted her face. Is definitely interesting how it shifted a lot. So, okay, so let's just first start by taking a seat and closing our eyes and going within our face. Place your tongue gently and mooing. The tongue tip is behind the top teeth. Just take a couple of breaths and see what comes through. Good. Okay, so what came through to me is we're going to work on the between the eyebrows, the 11s, because that face of disappointment that she was wearing was definitely one of creating those lines there. Also, she has a little bit of, kind of a sour puss on her face, so we're going to do some things for a smile. And we're going to open up her eyes. I feel like her eyes were kind of half open in the disappointed face, like she's tired. All right, so we've got a plan here. Let's give it to her. So let's take the fingers on the eyebrows, interlacing the fingers on the forehead. We're going to relax the shoulders, lift the chest, sink your tailbone. We'll open the eyes big and wide. And now let's just open the right eye big and wide. And then we're going to close the left eye, open the right eye. Open both eyes. Open the right eye, close the left eye. Open both eyes. Again, closing the left eye, open the right eye. Open that right eye big and wide. Open the left eye. One more time, closing the left eye, open the right eye. Breathing. And then open both eyes, big and wide. Now let's do a little squint with our lower lids. Squint, release, squint, release, squint, release, squint, release, and hold. Lift up from the bridge of the nose between the eyebrows, lifting up there, relaxing the forehead down. And relax. Yeah, let's relax the shoulders. Feels good to the eyes. Yep, so now I'm checking with her, and yep, she's doing it, and her eyes look, they're opening up from that face of disappointment. Good. Shoulder blades drawing back and down, widening the collarbones, lifting the sternum. We'll do the other side. Fingers on the eyebrows, interlacing the fingers. I do this to hold the eyebrows and forehead down so that I don't use those muscles to do my eye exercises. So let's open the eyes big and wide. This time we'll keep the left eye open, closing the right eye, and open. Close, opening the left eye, open the right eye, open both eyes big and wide, close the right eye, open the left eye, close, open both eyes, close the right eye, open the left eye, open both eyes. One more time, close the right eye, open the left eye. Open both eyes up. Good, we'll do more squint, release, squint, working the lower lids, squint, release, squint, release, squint, release, and hold. So working under the lower lids and release. So by doing those squints here helps for that indentation, that sadness that looks underneath our eyes, or they could be puffy from possibly crying or puffiness just in general. It helps with those. So let's come back in. My forehead's relaxed, eyebrows feel lifted, lifting up from the bridge of the nose here. Now let's just bring the fingers to the arch. Lift the arches and widen. Close the eyelids down, and then bring your awareness to your third eye. Hold. Let the forehead relax. And then bring your awareness to the tips of the eyebrows. Lift the tips of the eyebrows. Back to your third eye. Lifting from the bridge of the nose. And release. Good. So forehead's relaxed, eyebrows feel lifted, eyes bigger and wider, right? And I'm looking over at her. She's having a great time. She's like, this is fun. This is fun for her. That was part of the disappointment because she wanted to have fun. And she knows she has fun with this person, but there's another part of it that's not so fun, but she likes the fun part. So I have to acknowledge she likes to have a good time, but she likes doing this too. Like this actually makes her feel happy. And it does make you feel happy. It actually does raise your serotonin levels, and she's very grateful. So let's just go into a little smile now. Good. Let's take the fingers in the creases of the nose, and we're going to look down. And then as we lift our head back up, we're gonna let the cheeks rest on the fingers into a smile, widen the smile, and then let your chin relax, relaxing the chin. Breathing through your nose. And relax. Nice. So that really helps to support a smile, but also letting the chin muscles relax. The chin muscles are overused, so we want to learn how to relax those muscles as we go into a smile. Another area of our face that's overused is the muscles by the nose. So let's press down here and go into your smile. It's interesting because these muscles want to work as you smile, so starting to train them to go down as you lift the cheekbones up. And release, taking a deep breath in, exhale out. Oh, I'm feeling really good, and she actually is feeling good now too. She's smiling. She's sitting on on the sidewalk, and she's ready to get up and dance again. So I'm just gonna go let her dance. And I want to thank you for joining in. And this was one of my longer videos with the Quantum Face Healing. There is a little bit to explain and to go through. I'll be sharing more Quantum Face Healing videos with you as things arise. But any questions, comments, please do so below. Like and subscribe if you feel called to. And thanks for joining in. Have a great day.